All right, everybody. It is another Monday night, and it feels a little weird coming on here talking about having fun and everything with, comic books and all that stuff with everything crazy going on. But that's all we're going to do. We're going to talk about comic books tonight and whatnot and Batman and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot.
Tales from the Flipside. From the Flipside.
All right, let's give everybody some time off from their CNNs and Fox Newses and let's have a little fun. Batman coming out this week. Reviews. I saw a couple of reviews are in. We've got a massive market report, fucking huge market report like normal, and lots of fun stuff to talk about. I didn't really look for any news topics this week because the market report is so big, but I figure if there's anything crazy, we'll talk about it with the chat and that type of stuff. So so we got people still jumping in. We've got Dino, Nate, Tony, Blue Green Artifacts, Carter, and Paul. Leg might be showing up sometime soon. Who will show up on the show? It's Monday night. That's the way it works. So yeah, what's going on, gents? How was your week?
What's happening, gang? Happy Monday.
Pickups. Dino, were you in Florida recently, or am I remembering?
Yeah, I went to Disney. It was cool.
Did you do Galaxy's Edge?
No, so my son was losing it, so I kind of skipped Hollywood Studios. But so Galaxy or Star Wars, my wife did Galaxy's Edge, but what's the other Star Wars thing there? The
Oh man, don't it's because the two rides that the Millennium Falcon and then the one you have to get in the queue for.
Yeah, so the Millennium Falcon, she did that one. The other one was down the whole day, and then when it was up at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. into 3-hour wait. So,
yeah, that's a tough one because you have to get into the queue at like 7 or 8 in the morning, and it only lasts like 10 seconds. If you don't get in, you have to wait till like 1 o'clock.
So same thing with Avatar was the same way. That was like a 2-hour wait. I didn't get in line early on that one. Mount Kilimanjaro was down. A lot of crap was down. I was not happy. But I mean, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna.
How old is your son, Dino?
2, almost 2.
Oh wow, yeah.
So he started acting up. So I gave him a Macho Man Randy Savage off the top rope.
Did you have the red jacket on while you were there?
No, I should have.
You could have got to the front of the line.
I should have rocked the gold chain though.
I loved it the other night.
So.
What up, everybody? Jason Klein, Ed, Will Miranda, Sean McCurdy, Eric,
Galaxy Cruiser,
Mojo,
Galaxy Cruiser. Yeah, that whole shit. It just I don't know. I mean, for me, it just was. It was okay. I mean, we got it for a decent price. My wife's already talking about going back, so.
I heard that people are freaking out about the blue shrimp or something like that.
What's that? Is that slang for something in Disney?
Isn't there like some new Star Wars cruiser where you can get blue shrimp or something?
Okay, yeah, the cruiser, the hotel, the 2-night stay. I haven't done that. I did Galaxy's Edge.
Have you guys heard about that?
But
no.
I
did the Avatar thing was dope. I got to eat like the little pod hamburger thing, so that was cool. Most of the food was terrible actually. Besides like Pixar's like Woody's Lunchbox, that was actually really good. So
what's in that?
You get grilled cheese, and then there's like loaded tater tots and other stuff. Yeah.
How much was the grilled cheese sandwich?
I used a gift card on all that crap, so I saved up already. I think it was like $12, probably $13 for grilled cheese. But I mean, they give you grilled cheese and like tater tots, and then we got so basically the bit like all the sandwiches and stuff can feed. If you're doing like munching the whole day, you can get one thing and just split it between you and your girl, or you and the not a big family, but you can split it up. So that's what we kind of did, just split up like 2 entrees usually.
Dude, they got actors like in full on.
Yeah. So when I went, they didn't have any meats. Like you couldn't meet anybody. Like even at Magic Kingdom, like Mickey wasn't like coming out. Like they did the train thing, or they did like the parades, but you couldn't they weren't walking around because of the restrictions. And of course, the time I leave, they lift the mask update or the mask mandate in Florida, so it's good times. Or in Disney, I guess is a so.
So here's your Galactic Cruise. It looks very interesting and a lot of money. How much was it?
Oh, see, my wife sending me pictures. Let's see. How am I going to do this? Let me forward some emails so I can show you guys. It was cool. It was cool. But I'd go again. I mean, it would be a lot cooler if I was probably 17 again, or 16, or 8 to 16. But it was cool. Let's see if it goes through. I'll show you.
I saw just the title.
Yeah.
Article about some new, maybe is the place you went, a new Star Wars Disney destination thing that people weren't happy about.
That cruiser.
That's it. That's
is that it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Plus the price is astronomical.
Yeah, here I'll show you guys here. This is so you get a cup of tater tots and maybe an orange or whatever, but you get grilled cheeses. I mean, they're not small, and then you get there's a loaded tater tot was extra, but it was dope. I mean,
that actually looks delicious.
Yeah, so this is probably one of the highlights of it. It was probably 20 bucks. I mean, it's like going if you go to a ballpark, it's like that kind of so my thing is, if you're gonna go, don't buy 4 hot dogs and fries because it's gonna be like $90, and you might as well spend the extra $2 for real meals and do it that way. I mean, merch was 25 to $80 or $90 depending on what you wanted. I mean, sweatshirts were like 90. I mean, but what do you expect? It's I tell you right now, those guys are making a killing, absolute killing. They must. It's like Beverly Hills Cop. Was it 3 when they're in the amusement park? They just got money just putting in the back room, just so.
I think the beers were 12 or 14
Yeah,
a piece.
12,
So I think when you say it's like a ballpark, that's pretty much exactly.
It's a ballpark, but you're not there for 3 hours. You're there for like a week. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest with you, I could have done it real cheap. I think the next time to go, I think my wife kind of priced it out. It was like $2,200 to go, and I think it was like a couple 4 or 5 days there. But it's I would do if I had a little the little one's still little, I would do park, break, park, break, park, break. I did 2 parks in one day, and it was too much for them.
It's too much.
And and then I would do the other thing would be I would go like you said, Nate, right at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and then leave the park at 4, unless it's Magic Kingdom. We did the fireworks thing.
Yeah, so my little guy was 3 last year, and we left him behind, and the 2 of us went. And so we'd go to the park 8 o'clock and leave early afternoon.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. If my kids aren't old enough to remember anything, I'm not bringing them.
You see, it was a family deal for me. I didn't if it was me, I probably would have taken money. The primal age, I mean, is probably 5 if you're going to Animal Kingdom because it's a glorified zoo, but it is dope. Don't get me wrong. But 8 to 13, probably 8 to 13 is the range, I would think, where they're still a kid, but not a sassy teenager who don't care and why are we even here, and they're on their phone the whole time. So
right,
that's parenting advice from the CEO. I'm gonna write a book about it. So that's all I got.
All right. One thing that I want to talk about real quick. So, Paul, we talked about Paul. You had your fucking first sale. You had a good time doing it. Sounds like it was easy for you. Sold a bunch of Turtle books to a bunch of Turtle fans. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was a great time. Thanks very much for getting me off my ass to do that.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah. So the Turtle stuff is going crazy. Or not going crazy. It's selling. This came out, and you guys will love this. I don't know if you guys saw this. We talked about it on Saturday night. So there's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Toy Fair pre-order for The Last Ronin, right? Pretty dope. Yeah. Pretty fucking cool. But what's even cooler is this. See the box? How about this on the back?
Oh, I thought you meant it was empty. I thought it was cool.
You know whose art that is, right?
No.
That's Hive Comics. That's their first Last Ronin cover. Yeah. And then here's their second Last Ronin cover right here.
Oh, wow.
What are these guys? Nice.
How fucking cool is that?
That is really cool.
That is cool, man.
Look
Shout
at
out
this.
to Uniform 13 for the
Yeah.
$2 super chat. It says bookmark my whatnot tonight for Twig Ashcan free 9.8. There you go, Uniform 13. Whatnot tonight gonna be dropping some Twig
What time?
hotness.
What time? What time zone?
Yeah, we're all in different time zones, man.
Yeah, just go look it up. It'll be on there on Comic Sales.
No, that's cool. I'm glad for the High Boys. They deserve it, man. They're true ass busters in the game, you know. So
Yeah, I talked to we had John on the show and we are like, "So are you getting paid for this?" He's like, "Fuck no." So
send him one
yeah.
for free.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I mean, they
Yeah.
could at least do that. Jesus.
Yeah. Shout out to Shane. He has some items that are kind of market report esque that I'm going to be talking about later tonight.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I thought this is pretty cool, pretty dope, just to see that art being used and know that.
Awesome.
They were-
Too.
How'd that work
Yeah.
out? Do they have to pay them or anything?
No, they don't. They can't. It's not. The rights don't go to them for that stuff. And another thing we asked is, do they have to pay Stan Yak and Cale New? Because it's a Stan Yak art piece and a Cale New art piece for both of those. And they're like, nah, we don't know. So, but Turtle stuff I think is, well, here's the question. I heard that maybe Last Ronin is not owned by Nickelodeon because everything else is owned by Nickelodeon, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So I think Last Ronin, and I might be totally wrong about this, but for some reason I thought that Last Ronin was special because Laird and Eastman came up with it and did it. They had it in their back. They haven't talked about it and that type of deal, and it was made so long after the Nickelodeon deal. So I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find anything.
I think that was before. Like they wrote this story years and years and years ago, and then they just kind of buried it. So it was way before Nickelodeon probably existed. Was what I'd imagine. But
Yeah,
then
that's a
coming
good
together, them coming together to make it, I'm sure happened after the Nickelodeon deal. So I don't know.
You would think that deal would have, I mean, you think of like those Marvel deals. Anyone who appeared in or will appear in a Spider-Man comic book belongs to Sony. You would think they would have some legalese in there to scoop up any
3
spin-offs
appearances
that
or
would come
more.
out.
What?
Right? So if it's less than 3
Oh.
appearances, then it's Marvel's. That's the word. But anyway, so that's the legal spiegel, right?
Well, if
that's
anyone-
how they do it.
If anyone in the chat has a Last Ronin #1 first print or any of them, I guess, see if there's a Nickelodeon logo on there because they wouldn't let that be printed without the Nickelodeon stuff on there, I'm sure.
Well, I'm going to piss a lot of people off with the market report tonight, including people on this panel, because they're going to be so mad they missed out on some of the shit that I'm going to show. And there is a Last Ronin book in there. So,
Oh, shoot.
yeah.
Hey, just curious, do the Hive Boys have the original art?
No, that got sold. Yeah, they talked about that too. Yep. Somebody bought both of them, I believe.
When we talk about Batman, I got some interesting Batman news too. When we talk about the Batman.
Well, let's get into the Batman because I got the review on deck. I saw IGN had one of the early reviews, and they say some pretty cool things in here about it. One of the things that I really liked was it says the Batman stands on its own, but it's still dripping with cinematic references. Among the movies I thought about while watching: Zodiac, Seven, Chinatown, and Saw. That's fucking cool, right?
Yeah.
Those are 4 badass movies to say that this movie reminds them of. It says, what I didn't think too much about? Most of the previous live-action Batman movies. Its gritty realism is most similar to Christopher Nolan's trilogy, but this is refreshingly bold, new cinematic take on The Dark Knight, which is even better because if it's that good where you don't have to think about any of the other stuff while you're watching it, it means you're being, on to the next scene. On the next scene, you're being captivated.
Mm-hmm.
So, pretty damn cool. Have you guys heard anything?
No, I know my I can see it Thursday probably. They don't have a Wednesday midnight showing, which is interesting around my area.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, I don't on movies that I'm gonna see early. I don't really go into too many like reviews or anything like that. That stuff that I know that I'm going to see because I know any Batman movie comes out, I'm going to go see it. So.
I'll tell you, my wife is a casual fan, and she is not pumped for this.
No,
she thinks it's Twilight Batman, man. She is not on board. If Batman was on Wish, this is what it would be.
This is another part. Oh, sorry, Sean. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, nothing. I'm just not even diving that deep into the commercials. Like I've watched them all, but I've watched them all like once. Mm-hmm. So I'd be like, all right, I want to get my my opinion based from what I end up seeing on the screen, rather than like try to think of make it a Twilight movie or whatever.
Well, plug your ears because this is what he writes. He says, for one thing, it's not a Batman origin story. Yay, right? Hell yeah. Reeves knows we know that Thomas and Martha Wayne are dead, and he correctly assumes we don't need to see them get gunned down again. Instead, we're dropped right into the Batman and Jim Gordon vigilante detective partnership. Hell yeah. That's perfect. That's what we've been wanting, right? We've been wanting exactly that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need a quarter of the story in the beginning to talk about, an alleyway, a movie theater, and like, right. I did hear the good thing about this is the makeup. So they use like when Penguin, is Colin Farrell, obviously, and like unrecognizable, obviously. He went to like Starbucks and ordered a coffee, and like nobody knew it was him, like in full, test mode. And then I heard also that. I don't know, is it a spoiler if we talk about what? I'm not going to say what happens after, but there's already green lights on other projects surrounding the film. So,
yeah,
I'm kind of strategically trying to keep my expectations super low. I'm kind of on board with your wife. Like it's a little bit of a cheese fest. But again, I hope I show up and you just get blown away.
I mean, Batman's had a solid run. I think it's not like Justice League or something, I guess, newer, right, Sean? I mean, Batman's had its heyday, you know what I'm saying? I think it's, at least in the Nolan years, just proven itself. Obviously, Batman 1, Returns was okay, but I mean, I think we're out of the Batman Forever and terrible Batman films. So
yeah, they haven't. Well, I mean, they haven't made any campy stuff in a long time. Not with Batman. I mean. Yeah. Say what you want about the Suicide Squad and all that, but
sorry about that. Yeah, man, I'm stoked for it. You guys are going to see it Thursday? Who's going to see it Thursday?
I'm gonna try for Thursday night.
I'm gonna go on the weekend, maybe. I think, and depending what the missus does, I don't know. We gotta figure that out.
Yeah, I think we're going Friday.
This is a Batman movie. Why is this coming out in March instead of the summer?
Or the fall, like October.
I don't think that shit matters anymore.
Feels like they just try and launch it when no one else is coming out with the movie.
Right?
No competition.
Yeah. It says Robert Pattinson is playing a much more vulnerable human version of orphan billionaire than we've seen before, with a role so iconic it would have been easy to crib, even accidentally, from the many actors who came before him. But Pattinson makes Bruce entirely his own. Gone is the convincing illusion of the charismatic playboy we've seen in past iterations. Here we get a sad weirdo who's both crippled and compelled by his unresolved trauma in the way that's going to be crippling to watch. Well, your wife is right on, Dino. Fucking right on.
Hey, man. She's a smart lady. So.
I bet, for release, I bet they want a good window before. It would be really embarrassing to have Doctor Strange, who's not considered an A-list superhero, outperform Batman. So they don't want to go head to head with Marvel.
Yeah.
And like not even like weeks, like say even Tony or like 3 weeks before or something. I mean, it's going to be like Spider-Man all over again, where it's going to break records probably or do all that crap probably. So
right.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting. Have you guys been selling many Batman books lately?
No.
I've been seeing a lot of good deals on old DC books though. Like even in just the DC arena, like I saw a Wonder Woman 6.0, like a old, I want to say it was like 60s Wonder Woman, like 63 or something. Like it was a 6.0 for like $500, man. I mean, you're getting. I mean, even Batman 121 freezes, or I wouldn't say down, but you know what I'm saying. Like it's just, it's interesting time. Like I've been thinking to myself, do you buy old DC high, like mid-grade, high-grade books to like how they go up? Right? Carter knows.
What's funny, I haven't even thought to sell any DC.
Yeah, I've been holding all mine. Even old moderns. You know what I'm saying? Like like I sold my 880, but I mean just like other DC books that have just been whatever. Yeah. If they come, they come. If they don't, I mean.
Yeah, like a couple months ago, I sold my Batman one, the sketch variant, 9.8, for almost 1,000, and that's it. I thought it was more recently, but it looks like actually it was on Christmas. But yeah, no, haven't really. But then again, I don't really have stuff. I've been primarily selling on Whatnot, and so on eBay, all I really have are like it's just some of the more expensive stuff that sort of just sits there. And so, yeah, so it's just a little different than I'm used to. I'm used to having eBay loaded up, and it's just not. So,
yeah, I worry about like Action Comics, like first Brainiac. Like I've always wanted that book in like a decent grade. Like it's interesting to see. Like I don't know, it's just like it's one of those books that's hard to get out of though, right? Like all DC books are hard to get out of, right? Unless you find that guy who's a real DC fan, like, oh, I'm gonna buy it. Like, it's real risky. It's not like Marvel books where you can just kind of, take the leap and. Ugh.
Yeah, this is funny. Chad says he's been hunting and buying Dark Knight Returns 1 through 4 for years, still cheap. And I've heard a lot of people say that, man. You can buy them for so cheap nowadays. So.
What's funny, I see the first Man Bat around town at different stores for really cheap. For I'm talking like $300 for like a mid-grade copy. And I'm wondering why nobody's buying.
Shout out to Danger Room Comics with a $10 super chat that says, "Where's that comic book thought?" Who's that?
I mean, the first Man Bat, I don't know, dude. Like I remember that book was like you could find those for like nothing. I don't. Maybe that's what people were thinking, dude. Like, I mean, I had one, and hell, I grabbed it for. Well, but this was like 5 years ago, one or nothing. I can't believe they're that high still. Like it's Man Bat. Like I don't know.
Right? I mean, doesn't really excite me.
Yeah, I mean, Man Bat was cool.
Cartoon,
the cartoon, right? Yeah, in the cartoon it was great, but I mean, are we going to see a Man Bat in a movie? I mean, we could, right? But I mean,
who's got money for DC books when we got to go buy all those Red Panther books?
Yeah,
really,
man. That is true.
Well, Dean's got the money because he flipped it so quickly he can go buy the DC books now.
Nah,
yeah. Well, how about this? So I tried to sell some DC books on my last sale, and they sold. They didn't sell. They didn't go crazy or anything, but there were some good. It was a couple. It was like a first Killer Croc, first Harvey Bullock, stuff like that, and they sold. But I want to transition to Whatnot really quick because I got a couple funny things to talk about here. So I want to shout out a couple people. First, let's is Hive coming tonight? Is Hive going on tonight? Sean, you went tonight already, right?
Yeah, I was on a few hours ago.
How'd it go? Did it go okay?
Yeah, went fine. Just an hour show. Same 3:00 every Monday.
Yeah,
for 1 hour, and it was I did 25 books. Didn't try to do anymore. So
yeah. All right, so shout out to comic.tom 101 who fucking cracks me up, dude. So this is a new post from him that I thought, and he sent me he's like, it's all in good fun. I'm like, dude, I'm laughing my ass off, bro, trust me. He's got a picture of me and Ben on the Hot 10, and it says, dude, I sold a lot on Whatnot. Follow me on Whatnot. Dude, I got that lot on Whatnot. A massive joint in my mouth. And then Ben's like, y'all see that TV melting? Why did I put this on the list? Oh, yeah, Stoner has it on Whatnot. So shout out to comic.tom101 from the ghetto streets of Baltimore for this one, for that one. But you know what? I get it because it's kind of true, man. I mean, I feel like That's all we've been talking about lately is Whatnot. And
well, you got to be your own self promoter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it. Like, and for my side of the thing is like I don't banish anybody who like promotes on Whatnot. Let you do your thing, man. You know, it's up to you, right? It's kind of like I'm not equating Whatnot to MLM marketing, but it's like you can work 1 hour, or you can work 300 hours on your Whatnot sales. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you how much you want to advertise and make and all that good stuff, right? I mean,
it's a little weird. You're the only one talking too. Keeps you on your toes.
Yes, it does. It keeps you on your toes. Also, make sure you did it a good way though, Paul, because you had a little thing written up about each book, the little cool things that happened in the book. I didn't know they were watching Pee Wee Herman in one of those episodes,
That was
one of those issues. You know what I mean? So like that's cool stuff. You did it really well.
I appreciate it, man.
But I think a lot of people are starting to get. I don't know if it's. I mean, we see it all the time in the chat. Like we've always had people have been like, "Oh, come on, man, quit talking about fucking Whatnot or Whatnot's." Of course you guys are doing well on Whatnot. You're Tales from the Flip Side or this and that, and that's not necessarily true. Listen, to be honest, I bet you the majority of us that sell on Whatnot are selling right now, taking a loss from what we could be selling on eBay. And I tell you guys all the time that don't be a seller on Whatnot right now. Be a buyer on Whatnot. Whatnot is a place to buy books. Like we recently got a message in one of our videos. It was Up the Down 7. He says, Whatnot has quickly become unsustainable for normal peeps. I'm not even talking about myself. I'm back to eBay for selling. I'm talking about the sellers that I've been stealing keys from. It's fine for stores that need to move product or for people with a big social media following like you guys, but normal sellers are getting fleeced. I bought a bunch of Moon Knight keys tonight from one poor dude for pennies on the dollar that I'll flip on eBay over the next month for big profit. And it's only going to get worse going forward as they let in more sellers. You're screwed unless you're a store or you have a big social media following. It's all good for Whatnot, though. They need normal sellers to be cannon fodder for cheap buyers / sharks while they give exclusives out to the popular kids. Now, I don't know about all this stuff at the end, but I do agree it is fucking tough to sell on Whatnot right now because
we got in right at the right time. Not to cut you off.
Yes,
but you know what I mean.
No, you're 100% right, brother.
I was able to do that last summer, and via this, and then my Instagram probably got since last summer. I've probably got 400 or 500 more Instagram followers from kind of going back and forth with that and Whatnot and posting more and stuff like that.
Well, to me, it sounds like, I'm not saying it sounds like sour grapes to some people, but it's like,
thanks,
people like, you guys put a lot of time into it too. It's like, you can't just go on Whatnot day one and be like, oh, I got 5,000 people following me. Right. I mean, it's, you got to grow it. Like, you got to go on different shows. You got to show what you got. You got to have good books. You got to, to some degree, it's like, there's an algorithm or a solution or a calculation that,
and honestly, if you're it's so damn fast. The sales are so fast.
Mm-hmm.
If you're literally like a smaller timer with like 2 short boxes to your name,
mm-hmm.
don't bother. Like, you know what I mean? Don't bother to be a seller. You're just gonna get hosed because you're gonna run out all your good books for less than you should get for them before you even make a following for yourself. You know what I mean? Like Drew started selling, but everybody knows who Wanted Comics is, so it's easy for him. Even though he's
I think the High Boys are selling right on Whatnot too. It's like everybody knows who those guys are. Like
real quick, AOA is right. Thanks for the super chat, brother. I think it's a great drinking game word. But make sure, hey, and I'll say this, like if it wasn't for being able to team up with some of these sellers, aka what we're doing on Friday nights with Thank God It's Friday, like we're able to team up kind of together and get followers from each other, which really helps. So he's right. Up the Down 7 is very right. It can be very tough, and Sean hit it on the head. We got in right at the right time, but it still doesn't mean we're making a killing. Like I have learned very quickly that there's certain books you don't sell on Whatnot. You know what I mean? Or if you're gonna sell them, you don't have to worry about selling them that show. Like, put them up for sale. If they don't sell, put it away. You don't have to sell it that show. Like, I would not suggest right now, at least right now, would not suggest anybody just go on there thinking they could sell their keys and make money. Especially not at the way Whatnot is selling right now, where it's dollar sale at 30 seconds, which people are starting to learn. Okay, this is how you do it. I know, Tony, you just had a sale. You sold mystery packs?
Yeah. Yep.
And you had 24 mystery packs?
We had 12 mystery packs, like packs of slabs. So each pack had 3 slabs in it.
Wow.
I can't do that very often because I don't have a super deep inventory, but this is the 3rd edition. So yeah, I try to put a lot of value in it. I mean, mystery stuff goes crazy on Whatnot. I think half of the auctions out there are mystery based, but if you build enough value into it, and I didn't have a lot of viewers. I think I maxed out at like 22 maybe, but just happened to get a couple guys who wanted to buy some, wanted to go for those big books. So it worked out. But I think what you said, what the comment said earlier was exactly right. The smaller sellers, you got to make it your own. You can't do the same thing that everybody else does. You can't look at Very Gary, who's got 320 viewers, throwing everything up at $1 and getting, twice eBay prices. You can set your own minimum. If you don't want to, if you paid $28 for a book, don't put it for $1. I mean, list it start it at a price, that you're comfortable getting rid of it. Aim at those books that are in the news, that are on lists or whatever, getting some press recently or a show coming out. Have a theme, focus on lots, focus on fillers even. I mean, have your own strategy, work out your own thing, but don't copy what the big shows are doing, because that's not going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to make it your own. Speaking
of big shows, Chad did contact me last night, and he said, Comics Elite is up there selling like these crazy bundles, like 100 and 9 slabs for, whatever, 1,000. What did he say it was?
10 slabs for $1,000.
Yeah, 10 slabs for $1,000.
Yeah, 100 slabs, pretty much.
Yeah. So people are just dumping inventory, right? I mean, they're just absolutely dumping inventory. But Double J says, if you make more on eBay with less work, as you claim, why use Whatnot? It's not about that. There's different reasons to sell on Whatnot. Again, people aren't realizing what you sell on Whatnot. I'm not going to go put up my any of my slabs that are $200 or more on Whatnot. But you know what I am going to sell on Whatnot? I'm going to sell all my $10 to $30 books, because I can get them out quickly. I can, it's with people that are willing to drop inventory. You know what I mean? A lot of people aren't necessarily thinking about dropping inventory. They don't have 2 rooms full of short boxes. You know what I mean? Or the stuff that a lot of us has. It's giving a lot of us who have collected over the years, that have, just tons of stuff to offload it, right? eBay can be a pain in the ass. It can be a very, very big pain in the ass. It using their systems, doing everything, it can be a pain in the ass. Whatnot is very quick. They make the shipping much easier. There's pluses and minuses for both. So, JJ, like, you're one of the ones who calls out Whatnot on a regular basis, but I don't think that, like, you realize what we're using it for. And again, I'm one of the biggest proponents of Whatnot. I talk about this shit on every show I'm on. Why? I'm using it. That's why. Because I'm actually selling on it. The people that were doing content was selling on it. The people that are watching and that are part of this community are buying on it, or should be buying on it. Like, if you're a comic flipper, like the majority of us are, you should be utilized. We've been saying it since the beginning. Utilize this. Like Up the Down 7 said, he picked up a ton of Moon Knight books that he's going to flip in a month for big profit. Like, if that's your game, that's what you should be using this for. There's different platforms for different items and different sale prices. We've talked about short box before. Short box is a great place if you just have a ton of slabs that you just want to put up there. It's kind of like eBay, only for slabs. A lot of people just use short box. Big item tickets, golden auctions, heritage auctions. That's the whole thing. But I will say, go ahead, Sean.
Well, I'd say with the slabs, I do find doing buy it now slabs, and I try to do it theme for the if I have an auction theme or something like that. Like I've been featured for last week was Star Wars, before that was Marvel, before that was Spider-Man, and so I just break out the slabs and I put them out there. I put them competitively priced. Not going to be not the cheapest online, but not the most expensive either. And I put them out there, and it gets eyes. And some people, people kind of want to bargain for them sometimes. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. And so I do fine, but that's just, I leave it at buy it now. And I'm sure they're going to have that function. I was talking about this other night, and we've heard that it's coming because there's they've got like the Funkos and stuff for buy it now for people and stuff like that. Well, they're going to be able to do it like slabs. So you're going to be able to park your slabs there, and people can just buy them. So you'll be able to actually have a storefront there.
That's what Bill was asking today. Like if you could just keep all those bins up there, so we wouldn't have to reload them every time. It's great.
Not yet, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, not yet, but you can. There's a cloning function for auctions. Okay. So like if your auction ends and you schedule a new one, you can go to that old one and clone it over, and it just brings that listing over for you.
Oh, nice.
So it's easy to relist things. And to me, it's hard. The comics get harder to relist because I have such varied stuff, and also I grade everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't mean CGC. I mean, I assign a grade to it. Yeah. I use letter grades for whatnot.
Yeah, you're not doing like lot 1, lot 2, lot 3. You're actually putting like real descriptions.
I've really only done that once, and some people are just fine doing that. Yeah. And it does not take them as long as it takes me to do this stuff. But I get really good feedback from people that specifically say thank you so much for laying it out like the way you do, because I put mine in the order that I want to sell it, and then I go 01, 02, 03, and then I got that idea from Tony. But and then type out whatever it is. That way they're in order. Otherwise, it defaults to alphabetical. And I'm not going to sell things alphabetically. Yes, I could, but so I have it all laid out like that, and then the people they catch up with the show. When people ask stuff, I'm like, click down there on the right. I got everything listed. I got pictures of everything, and this is the approximate order that I'm going to go in through the night.
And let's be honest,
I'm not running Star Wars 42 to start the show, dude.
Yeah. We're all eBay pros, right? I mean, we're all eBay pros. We all know how it goes. I mean, we kind of right. We all, not me, but we all else have adopted eBay policy and kind of just threw it into whatnot, right? I mean, pictures, questions, right? Everybody, comments if something's wrong with the book or whatever. I mean,
well, here's another thing. They are trying to make it better, but there is a lot of problems lately with the app. That's one thing I will say. I've had tons of people telling me the issues having. Matter of fact, Paul had a bunch of issues Saturday. Android, it sounds like Android users are the ones who are getting hit the worst right now. A lot of Android users having problems trying to put things on the app or just stay in their sale. Like they could keep getting kicked out of their sale and stuff. And, they're working over there. Matter of fact, I'm going through some bullshit right now. I got hit with a email today. Matter of fact, I'll read it for you guys. Basically says, "Hi, Tails. After a review of your seller history, we found 21 instances where buyers demanded refunds on your orders. Given the volume of returns versus your orders, we wanted to inform you that your account is being monitored. Please consider this a warning and review the packaging guidelines in detail. We understand shipping accidents happen and are empathetic to the fact that our community is still learning how to process shipping items. Please reach out to your partnership POC if you have any questions. Multiple strikes will lead to removal from the platform, and I am being monitored." So how about that one? And guess what? How many return instances do you guys think I've actually had? You're right, sir. Not a single return.
Okay. So how do you?
Oh, I
try to
hit him
get
up.
through it?
As soon as I got the email, I hit him up. Haven't heard from him. It's been 2 days. I'm sure it'll all get worked out. But like I've talked to a couple other sellers. They said they got strikes for weird things. I know people are getting strikes for canceling sales for people. Like you shouldn't get a strike when you cancel a sale for somebody. And what they're doing right now is they're saying, oh, you can contact us and we'll take that strike away. We'll fix that shit. Like fix that.
Well, so for
It
example,
shouldn't
like
be there.
I was watching Phil's show, I think Friday night, and someone accidentally, put in like 5,200, and they probably meant to put like $52, so he had to cancel it.
Yeah,
do you get
that's a
dinged
strike?
For that?
You get a strike for that.
Great.
So I have a 4, and here's another thing. Like you would think with 21 returns, I wouldn't have a 4.99 rating. And the only reason I have a 4.99 rating is because a guy asked me to cancel an item, and I canceled an item for him. So
because you did him a service.
Yeah, there's some. What's that?
Because you did him a service.
Because I did him a service, and people are going to take a hit for that. And I've heard people who we were watching. I think I was watching JJ the other day. JJ's Comics and Art, part of the TGIF thing. He was saying, "Yeah, I've got a 4.92 rating, and supposedly they've told me they fixed it 9 times." You know what I mean? Like, so here we go. Here's Mel. Mel said, "Yeah, he got an email saying he had 11 refunds." And he was like, "Hell no, I don't." So, there are some weird things going on, but. Is this a company that is growing, or is this a company that is there's something weird going on? I'm thinking I'm going to push more towards growing right now.
I think growing pains,
yeah, some growing pains, that type of stuff. Yeah, a lot of people are definitely not happy with it. Yeah, and shout out to my pops who's out there watching. What up, pops?
One thing I'll give them though, because they've got a lot of funding. They got a lot of programmers. They roll out new features or new buttons or new tweaks like every couple weeks. It's not like, oh, I wish we had this, and then next year it shows up. It's,
right.
We got giveaways, and then we got giveaways that only went to followers, or giveaways that only went. They're agile. It seems
so
they can move.
Here's a question. JJ says, is it growing really? What are the stats besides them taking on more debt and funding?
I mean, the comics are growing. That's pretty obvious. There's way more people live than there used to be. I just know that any given moment, there's lots of people live. And honestly, I don't pay that much attention to the areas outside of comics because I spend so much time on the comics part of it. So yeah, I don't know. It's got to be growing, and I mean they have like they've been having NFL guys sell. Just like I was driving, and then a couple weeks ago, and it was like Zay Jones live from his closet or whatever, right? And they got Raiders receiver just selling like game use stuff and things like that. And there's like, people are paying top dollar, and there's 200-300 people in there live, and that wasn't an account that I followed before. But if you're going to get an NFL player on there, obviously they're going to give you an app push. I don't know how they wouldn't. So I don't know.
It's growing really fast. I mean, my nephew is into sneakers, and they just branched into sneakers maybe 2 months ago, and now there's 6-7 big shows going on at a time. They just added vintage clothing within the last 6 weeks. I mean, there's 5 big thrift store vintage clothing shows going on right now. With
this
30,
is
40,
TechCrunch
viewers.
This is TechCrunch magazine, who says live stream shopping platform whatnot has come a long way. This is last month. Sorry, you guys, I should have told you when it came out last month. It's come a long way from being run out of a garage in Phoenix to now a 120-person company valued at $1.5 billion. That's expected to grow to over 300 people by the year end as its business explodes. To aid on that front, Whatnot is making 2 key hires and involves the acquisition of Pastel Labs. So let's see here. I mean, it says here, Whatnot CEO characterized the Pastel Labs deal, which was finalized in December, as being in the $5 to $10 million range. I mean, sounds like they're moving pretty quickly, buying out companies and They're valued at $1.5 billion, raised another $150 million for its live stream shopping platform, evolves into a unicorn.
Yeah.
I mean,
And at this phase of the development of the company too, they're not aiming at profit this quarter. I mean, Amazon
No.
took 25 years before they aimed at getting a profit. You know, it's growth.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's nothing. I don't think is there really. I mean, I guess there's Instagram Live and Facebook Live, but is there any other real? And I don't actually. I don't know how you would, if you can, like Facebook Live stuff. Like I know the stuff Jesse does and all that. How do people pay?
So that's a great question. That's a great question. I definitely want to talk about, because I've been in Jesse's store for like 5 nights out of the last 2 weeks, 5 or 6 nights out of the last 2 weeks. Going through collections that collect all those different collections, getting content. And I'm there while he's selling on his Binge Bar. It's called Binge Bar on Comic Book Shopping Network on Facebook. So, yeah, if you guys search Binge Bar on Facebook, you'll find it, Jesse James Comics. And it's absolutely unreal what he does on Facebook. And you couldn't do this on Whatnot. That's one of the reasons he's not over there, because he sells at such a fast rate that you couldn't do it on Whatnot. Literally what he's doing is he's grabbing like 4 books. He's going, okay, we've got, New Warriors 1 through 3 here. This is $15, and he puts it behind him. Okay, we've got, this book here. This is $70. He puts it behind him, and he's just going through books. He's telling them and people are going, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. And he's just pulling them off the back thing. Right. And his comic whisperer, his girlfriend, Shannon, is manning behind the camera and looking at all the people buying stuff, and she's writing it down and creating invoices that go. So it's like a 2-man project, but he's selling like this. I mean, he's on for like an hour and a half, and he's selling, $6,000 worth of books, and he's getting more for them than you could ever get on Whatnot. And the reason why I think that is because he's cultivated a network of people that are vetted buyers, right? Who are just there to buy. I mean, they know he's done 1,000 shows in a row. He's got, so many hundred of people that are in his show, each show, and each one of them are buyers. They're not lurkers. You know what I mean? The way he's cultivated a following, which is kind of what you're trying to do with getting followers on Whatnot, right? You're trying to cultivate a following on, which is, Jesse just did it on Facebook, and he's using the Facebook app, the live feed, to do that, and he's sending invoices to him. So it's a little extra work, it's just not a button and you press print and it prints out all your. I mean, people don't realize that. That's another thing Whatnot is like you literally don't have to do. It's so easy. You press a button and then everything prints out for you, and Yep. So it's a little bit more work, but he's selling so fast over there that I don't think Whatnot you could do that on Whatnot yet. You know what I mean? At least not yet. So it'll be interesting. And there's supposed to be other platforms out there that you're supposed to be able to do this on, right? Like, I talked about that network one where it's a lot of influencers and stuff who are going on that network app. That's been around for a while, I guess, and they're selling out, stuff on there. Gas Trading Cards does their thing. One of the big content creators on YouTube that I watch, he's a flipping guy that goes to like Goodwills and garage sales. Mm-hmm. His name's Harry Tornado. He's now on Whatnot, killing it, selling vintage T-shirts. And he created he fostered a community from his webpage. People that bought, he used to sell on YouTube. He would have live auctions on YouTube, and he used to sell there. And he created a community that instantly came over to Whatnot with him, right? And now everybody says, "Oh, there's 500 people in his sale. What is he selling?" You know what I mean? So that's the other thing. It's also, there's good and bad sellers on Whatnot, just like there's good and bad sellers on eBay, just like there's good and bad sellers on Facebook. So you can't always mention the bad. You also got to mention the good. And it's still to this day is the best place to get deals on books. which is again why I say, yeah, maybe don't sell on Whatnot, but buy on Whatnot and sell somewhere else. Do what these other people are doing. Utilize it, which will also bring in more buyers. Like, what does it need? It needs more buyers. There's too many sellers right there. It's starting to get to the point where there's too many sellers, so it needs more buyers.
Yeah.
So, like, go buy there. Make some flips.
I'm surprised YouTube hasn't tried incorporating some sort of selling platform, feature, add-on, whatever. I mean, they've got more eyes than anyone.
Yeah. Shout out to Thoro. Oh my God. Well, YouTube has been talking about that recently. You know, there's been people in the know in YouTube that have been saying this is what we foresee coming, and it's a buying GUI, some type of buying, infrastructure GUI that people could utilize, and they take a YouTube, because if that happens, like, game over. Like, YouTube is the winner, like, period. If they can figure out a way to take a percentage and put in a GUI in any video, and anybody can go on and sell whatever the hell they want, and then they just get a percentage of it, like, goodbye Whatnot, goodbye Facebook Marketplace, goodbye all that shit, because YouTube is going to eat them all up. And I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube said to Whatnot, hey, you want to sell whatever you got going over there to us?
Right.
Absolutely.
It's and the money right now isn't being made. It's funny. We're just talking about comics. Comics is probably the smallest. It's probably the fastest growing, but still one of the smallest communities on there, right? The Funko Pops are still king. Pokemon is still king. And cards right now are starting to just go crazy over there. So it's a totally different ball game. And I think ultimately they're trying to not just stay in the collectible world, right? They want to go everything.
Yeah. They want to do cosmetics and designer purses and clothing.
Yeah. Produce.
Well, you think when you're talking about Facebook, I mean, since they own YouTube, that at some point you think Amazon would get involved. If YouTube, since they have Facebook, it would get even more so. And then they have so much revenue. If someone wants, eBay wants to go, or Amazon wants to go buy eBay, they can. I mean, the way things are set up now is not necessarily how they'll be in a few years from now. You're talking like, Whatnot. They're ripe. They just got to, keep building things out. And kind of like I think you mentioned, Tony, when you're growing, when you're deploying code that much to change different things, what you may deploy in production may work, but you may not necessarily realize that, hey, it affects another program that you just released in another type of software. So
yeah, it could. I feel bad for them having to deal with all that programming and infrastructure stuff, because it is a nightmare. And the world is kind of crazy right now on top of it. So, but
yeah, I think it's can Android users upload pics yet?
No, that's the other thing. Can't. I think Paul was able to do it a couple times and then kick him out.
So, if what you mean by upload is I just set the book and take a picture and make my list, is that what you're talking about?
When you're making the listing, yeah.
Yeah, I was doing that on both my phones. Were giving me trouble because I have an iPhone and an Android because I have a work line, but they were both giving me trouble uploading the pictures. I don't know if it was. I didn't know how long it would take me, but I ended up kind of being like crunch time before the show because it kept saying error. So I'd have to log out and log in. But I mean, I got them all in and it's fine. And, the lesson is set your sale up, get your pictures done early, and then you're able to advertise better.
Yeah. I'm Android. I haven't had any problem putting photos in my listings at all.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's good.
Maybe it's just phone by phone, some models need different programming.
Yeah. Well,
shout out to Solo. He's getting a big box. It's in the mail.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the market report because it's fucking massive. All right.
I'll come right back.
Hold on here. Shout out to Uniform. Let me see here. Where is it? Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to. Uniform hit me up, and he's like, "Hey, man, buy this." And I'm trying to buy it, but I can't buy it. I'll try to get to it, Uniform. All right. Let's get into some market report for February 28th, 2022. How about this one, you guys? Venom 3 third print, a CBCS 9.8, $335 on 64 bids. The mighty have fallen.
You know,
Everybody is still saying that this is a big book to pick up. Still a good book to pick up. Still a good book to pick up. What do you guys think?
I'll tell you what, I saw a CGC 9.6 sell for the exact same price a couple hours later. So I think this seller did himself a disservice auctioning that CBCS book off.
Interesting.
Yeah, and ending on a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here we go. We've got a raw Nintendo preview, first Valiant book, super tough book to find, and it went for $500 raw. So, love this book. Tough to find at any condition. Getting closer to $2,000 each and every day. I think there was one that might have been over 2,000 too. So NYX is creeping back up, which I love this book. This is interesting.
Stop it.
Yeah. Well, that's raw, right? Is it this one? Yeah. How about that?
Oh, dealer flip side.
It's kind of cool to see them both by each other. So what we're looking at, you guys, is we're looking at a 9.2 Silver Surfer 4. It sold for $5,800, and a 9.8 Fantasy Masterpieces 4 that sold for just under $500. And it's kind of cool to see them next to each other because you can see the differences in the coloring, and they don't have the rainbow bridge. The space in the background of the masterpieces is a little bit brighter. So it's kind of cool to see both books sold, so close to each other. But yeah, all right. Here we go. Black Cat Mystery Comics number 50, a 5.0, sold for $9,412.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. You guys want to get really pissed off? Because I'm fucking really pissed off about this one. Speaking of Hive Comics and Stan Yak. A 9.9 Last Ronin number 1, the Stan Yak variant, sold for $560. That is such a deal right there. Weren't these limited to 250? If I remember correctly.
Most were pretty small. I don't remember exactly, but yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
man. I'm so bummed I missed. That's one of the biggest problems with doing these market reports. Is you find these books that you go, I can't believe I missed it, And this is one that I never got a chance to own, and I could have owned a 9.9 for $560.
It's not a bad price, especially the size, right? It's magazine.
Yeah, this is a super rare version of that book too. One book that I've seen people talk a lot about are the Deadpool NES variants. Well, here's the Hastings, a 9.8 Deadpool 11 Mario homage. I like how he has the mushrooms emoji. Sold for $425 for a 9.8. Pretty cool. A lot of people have been talking about the Deadpool NES variants. There's a couple of them, right? There's like 3 or 4 of them, something like that.
Solo says the print runs like 200 to 250.
Yeah, 250 on that Yak, I believe. Wait. You got the which one was you? The Stan Yak or the Deadpool? Because man, if you got that Stan Yak, congrats. All right, next, this is kind of interesting. This Blue Beetle number 10 from 1941, classic bondage cover, sold a 6.5, sold for $3,600 on 27 bids. Love these old school Blue Beetle books. I don't know why, I just always enjoyed those Blue Beetle books. Next, we've got I'm so mad about this, and you guys should be just as mad. How about a Jack Kirby signed X-Men 1 Marvel Milestone sold for $300?
2 bids.
I would have paid $300 for a Jack Kirby signature all day, every day. How much are Jack Kirby signatures usually? They should be way more than $300. That's for sure. Werewolf by Night 32, a raw, quote, very fine to near mint 9.0, $2,200 on 45 bids. Yep.
God, I hate seeing that book.
Yeah, so do I. This is All American Comics 19. A lot of people don't realize some of these books, like when they see them, they don't realize what's in them. This one it looks kind of trash, it looks really bad. It's a 3.0. All American Comics 19 from 1940. First appearance of the Atom, sold for $4,000. 6 bids. So pretty cool. Next, we've got Darth Vader number 3 and 9.8. First Afra, $511. I feel like this is down. Wasn't this like $600 plus recently?
So.
It's fluctuated up and down. It got down to about 400 for a while, and I think it's working its way up again.
I think this is a great $500 book.
I wouldn't sell that for no 500. No.
I'd be if it's $500, I'll keep them and I'll be buying more. So, love this Zatanna cover. Zatanna 15, Adam Hughes, $515 for a 9.8 on 17 bids. So nice to see that book selling.
I would sell that for 500.
Yeah, but it's still a good book.
It's been 500 for a long time. For like years, actually, just sat right around 500.
The reason I put this on here is because we got another Adam Hughes book coming up, and I feel like Adam Hughes books still haven't. The market still doesn't realize what they're missing out. They're starting to get a sniff. But when you see the next Adam Hughes book that I got on here, you'll realize, like, even if this should be a close to $1,000 book, if it's been $500 this whole time, I just don't understand why Adam Hughes books don't get as much love as they should. It's a new breed of collectors, man. That's for sure. Yeah. Who would have thought? Jesus. A 9.8 Star Trek Next Generation number 1, $356 on 37 bids.
I wish I could like that cover. I think I don't know. Like to own, I don't know if I'd pay that much for a 9.8. I love Star Trek, but I don't know. Sean, you're a Star Trek guy, right?
No.
No?
Nobody's going to admit to being a Star Trek guy but you, Paul.
Yeah. I am that my grandfather was a fan, so we'd watch him when I was a kid, so I did enjoy watching it, but I don't know anything about the collecting of it or anything like that. Yeah. And it definitely didn't watch Next Generation.
There's a lot of Star Trek buying. I don't know. Who knows when it will go up, but I mean, for the love of God, there's a lot of Star Trek fans out there. If we're specking on Earthworm Jim, then, these Star Trek number 1s that are 20, 30 plus years old are worth buying for $350.
Yeah. Is that Patrick Stewart's first appearance on the comic?
Might be. It's a great question. Next, we've got a book that I love.
Damn.
This book is so good, and a lot of people don't realize how good it is. First Diana Lance Black Canary. Love the legs and the fishnet stockings in that cover. Black spine, so hard to find in good grade.
A Silver Age 8.5 first appearance for like what, $400?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, love that book. I think they got a nice little deal on that one.
Mm-hmm.
How about this one? Shout out to, I think Jonathan picked one of these up, or bought something similar, one of the two, at Baltimore. But this is a 2.0 of Contact Comics 12, one of the famous space covers, just
This is
under
cool.
$2,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Love this book. We've got a second print Turtles.
Oh my God, Sean, can I
8.5.
send you all my magazine turtle books, please?
Sure.
$3,000 for a second print 8.5.
Dude, I left the third print in 9.8 behind for $800. I think it's like 10 grand now.
Nate, what's your Turtles?
8.
You son of a gun. Got to make you happy seeing a second print 8.5 go for $3,000.
I can't believe what these turtle books are now. It's just it's incredible.
Yeah, nuts. All right, one of the greatest space covers ever. It gets homaged all the time. Early Bruce Timm homage. This book, Space Adventures 12, Ditko, Raw, 1954, $2,000 on 45 bids. Love this book. Wish I owned one. All right, some original art here. 3 pages from Adam, Legend of the Blue Marvel, number 5 and 1, or 2 from 5, 1 from 4. Can't believe how cheap these go. That run is going to be such a big deal here in the future. It still is a crazy tough run to find, and you could have got original pages for less than $1,000. So just makes you realize again how cheap some original art still is. Here's another original art, Deadpool, page 26, $611, and it's the meme page for the Common Sense meme, I guess, that they make. So it's the original art for that, which is, to me, like, with how important memes are these days, like, this was a killer buy right here for $600. Got the original art of a meme. Like, this is better than an NFT right here. Next, we've got some Peacemaker stuff. Was it this book last week that we saw for like $2,000 raw? Yeah. And look at this, a double cover sold for $355. There must have been some major FOMO with that $2,000 book.
That's the reprint.
Okay, that makes sense then. Thank you.
But
well, here's a 67 that sold for $495.
So 167 to 178.
Yeah, with the Charlton, and then what was it? Modern Comics is the reprint.
Yeah.
So
that'd be a cool book to have. I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
never would have given a shit before recently, obviously, but I'd really like I'd take either, but definitely would like a 1967 first Peacemaker.
Yeah. Brad Selden says FOMO or fuckery. There was something weird going on with that book to sell for that much, but pretty cool double cover, even though it is a reprint. All right, this one I already showed. This is interesting. This goes to show you that a signature by Harrison Ford and Daisy Ridley and who's Driver? Adam Driver are not worth it, you guys. Because
the one we saw with Harrison Ford last week was by itself more than this.
Yeah.
It depends.
And then we
on the
talked
book.
about that signature pin or that signature option way back when, and he looked just as angry on the cover of that comic book.
He just should have wrote.
Right.
Got to be the right book for these signatures. Marvel, I think, if it's a copper or bronze or newer, if it's a first appearance, I think for these Star Wars books, the way to go is those movie variants.
Mm-hmm.
You see a signature on these random Star Wars books, and no, it doesn't command a premium, but put it on the photo variant and it's $2,000 more,
I feel like this was somebody who was just a fan that became not a fan. You know what I mean? Because why would you get that book signed by all three?
And then sell it.
Yeah. So somebody was it come up on hard times or just hates that time period of Star Wars now like the rest of us. All right. Next. Dr. Afra, number 1, the Neff box variant, 9.6 sold for $985.
Why does that look? Why does that art look like parody porn?
I know, it's weird, right?
It does. Yeah, it looks a little something.
Can somebody explain to me the Neff box variant? I don't know what's going on with this. Do anybody on the panel here know?
Is
I've
that
never
the part
seen
they?
that
Is
before.
that the part they blur out in the movie
Hmm.
that Carter's talking about?
Yeah. Red Hood. Mama. Yeah. Hardest to find Nakayama. There we go. So maybe that's it.
Oh, okay.
There we go. So tough book. This is the book I was talking about.
Wow.
Dirty Pair 9.8, $375. What is up with Adam Hughes, you guys? How is this happening? Like this book was like one of the grails for a certain period of time to find if you were a flipper.
Well, you just said the new crowd coming in. They don't know to appreciate this as much as they should, and maybe
just
people
hasn't
like us
changed
aren't
in
looking
price.
anymore. Or would you say, Sean, hasn't changed
I
hands
think
enough?
it just hasn't changed in price. All this stuff. I think Loesch is up closer to like 1,800 or something, which it always should have been. Yeah, I think so.
Do you guys remember what Teen Titans 75? That was a grail for a while.
Still is for me. I still can't. I've never been able to find that book. Love that fucking Starfire cover, dude. So good. It's probably one of Adam Hughes' top 5 books, in my opinion. Top 3. Next on the list, this is kind of cool. Fantasy Quarterly #1, first appearance at ElfQuest, signed by Richard and Wendy Peeney. Is that how you say their name? Sold for $1,000 for a 9.6. So this is just a cool book that you don't see very often, right? Especially signed in ballpoint pen. Kind of weird.
I see ElfQuest. It never really rings money bells to me.
Yeah. How about this one? You could have owned an early piece of Todd McFarlane original art from Infinity Inc. #31, first appearance of Skyman for less than $900.
I wonder if Z would have jumped on that one.
I would have jumped all over that if I'd seen it.
Yep.
Yeah.
OG art. Early Todd McFarlane, DC. That's right after he came out. It was the first big project he got signed on, right? Was the Infinity Inc. run. After he did the Rose, what was the Rose stuff on that first book? Weird book, epic Marvel book. I'm spacing on the name of it. What was Todd McFarlane's first art? What was it called?
Coyote?
Yeah, Coyote. Yeah. So he did Coyote. He did that Rose. What was her name? Rose something Rose, Tequila Rose. He did the art for that, and the backup story in that first one. And then he did a couple covers for it, and then he jumped over to DC for Infinity Inc. Right? Does that sound right? Chat, let me know if I have that correct.
Sounds
Vinny
about right.
Kumar.
Sounds good.
Shout out to Vinny Kumar. He says this felt cheap. Was watching it and forgot to bid. I bet you a lot of people did.
Did he do Alien Alliance after Infinity Inc.?
Yes, I believe so. Yes. Yeah, Scorpio Rose. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate that. Yeah. So, Samurai Santa was Jim Lee, Jay Nunya.
I have one of those.
Yeah, tough book. I love that whole Samurai
Signed.
run.
I think mine's signed.
Oh my god, that's even better. Here's another NYX. There we go. Up above two grand. So nice to see.
Yeah.
Sold too soon.
How about that one? I bet you guys are
Right.
pissed that one sold and you guys didn't get in on it.
I would. It's 2022. I can't use any of that information to make money now.
Oh man, I hate this. I hate doing market report. There's like 4 books already in here that I'm just smacking myself. Let's get into some GI Joe stuff. So it looks like one guy sold 3 figures from the Plastorama run. Some of the most coveted figures, the different color ninjas. This is the Satan or Satan Storm Shadow repaint, where it's Storm Shadow just painted red, and not just it's not graded. It's just put in a star case. It looks like it's sold for $700. The Ninjaku, which is the same thing but just all black, sold for $800. And the original, the Cobra de Elio, Storm Shadow original with the silver repaint weapons and cases, sold for $960.
Dude, nobody was checking for those back in the day.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Brian, do you want to hear a really sad Star Wars G.I. Joe story?
No, but you're going to tell it anyway.
I met this man too late in my life, and he says the same thing about me. He cleans out hoarders' houses. Yeah. And just oodles, just endless unopened G.I. Joe, full figure size Star Wars toys still in the box. And I'm like, well, what the hell did you do with it all? Oh, I threw it out. Like, are you what?
Yeah.
So heartbreaking.
You wouldn't have had to be cleaning houses anymore, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, sad. I mean, even if it stinks, you can. So here's actually a pro tip: if you get old comics from the lady whose cats go pee in her carpet all over, or houses, whatever, get an ozone machine and just ozone the heck out of the old toys or whatever, and the smell will go away.
Yeah,
I've done it.
Don't buy from Paul.
No, those are like giveaway books.
Yeah. All right, I talked about this last week, I believe, the Mail Away Ninja Viper, which is another repaint of Storm Shadow. This is the teal repaint, and the three different variations all sold by that same buyer again. So this must have been a Storm Shadow collector. He sold the dark sword variant, the gray sword variant, and the no sword variant, all sealed with their red card. $600, $560, $560. Bonkers. This was a $200 figure a couple of years ago, man. If you're lucky, you had to pay. You could get it for probably like 150, 120. Yeah, super cool figure. This is the NECA Spirit of Splinter figure Loot Crate exclusive. I didn't remember this. I had Loot Crate for the longest time. Was this an early in the Loot Crate run?
I didn't get it because I was like, that's a stupid figure.
I had one of those and sold it probably for $120.
Yeah,
4 years ago.
I failed on this one because I would still have it unopened, to guarantee you, if I had gotten it. The reviews when it came out were kind of like, it's cheesy because they released a regular Splinter figure before this, and so they kind of basically they used the same figure, just did them up, and the unboxings and stuff, people weren't satisfied with it, but this guy didn't unbox it, and look what happened to them. So,
yeah, man,
I missed out.
What year was that?
Oh man, it was at least
It was
3
like
years ago.
2018, 2019.
That long ago? Don't listen to me.
Well, was it early in the Loot Crate run? Because, man,
no. They started doing like not part of their monthly subscription, but like a feature box. Okay, we're going to release a new TMNT box and sign-ups for the next 30 days. And we're only going to make, it was a way for them to limit how many they're going to produce. They don't have to send them out. They don't have to produce them until they know how many they're getting, how many orders they're getting, basically. But yeah, they did 2 or 3 of those. I think this was in the first TMNT feature box.
Nice. That's cool. All right, next we've got, this blew me away, right? So I've talked about the 88 starting lineup basketball, especially the Jordan, for a long time, how tough that card is and high grade. Back when I first started talking about it, it was when PSA was still, in normal mode. And getting that card graded, if you get it graded above an 8, usually you can get a decent money on it. It's tough to find a high grade, but early Jordan card. Well, this is the Stockton card, just raw, sold for $261, right? I've got another thing coming up, but man, it's pretty amazing to see some of these cards on these starting lineup figures are starting to pick up in value now that starting lineup seems to be picking up a little bit more in value, and those things just died for a long time.
Yeah, you can get those. I mean, like, I get that a little bit with Stockton because that's his rookie year. But the show that was here about a month ago, somebody had just different starting lineup figures that you could pick up. I think he had a deal where if you buy 4 for $20, you get like 1 or 2 free. I mean,
wow. Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to start going to shows again. There's a big show here in March. Dallas was this weekend, right?
I think it's this weekend. This coming up this weekend.
Okay.
This is a big show.
Yeah. This seems to be a great buy right here.
What?
You got both
really
Malik, Malik and Revan, and 2
Grievous.
other figures. Like,
yeah, because the Malik. I mean, basically, the Revan or the Malik are basically $100. I mean, Grievous, because that's the pre-Grievous cyborg. It's 75. I mean, he got a really good deal.
Yeah, this is whoever got this. Great buy. Great buy. Love that Revan. Love the Malik too.
They look in good shape.
Yeah, they looked in good shape. Usually, so my Revan had the hanger is torn a little bit, so I'm bummed about that.
Yep.
I've never seen this Rocksteady. This is Warriors of the Forgotten Sewer, the Gatekeeper Rocksteady. Yeah, look at that, $610 for a carded figure. Wow, that's crazy.
I don't remember that one either. Anywhere. Yeah.
Marvelous says, pretty sure Utah Jazz starting lineups were considered short prints. They might be. They might be. How about this one? A Muscle Man 10-pack sealed canister, $200. I got a 4-pack sealed. I don't have a canister. I got a 4-pack sealed, but not a 10-pack. Yeah, that's super cool, man. Takes you right back. I remember just seeing these everywhere as a kid. Here's another Air Boba Fett. These things are selling. I'm loving this. See the Air start selling. These Power of the Force 2 figures just were throwaways for the longest time. Even the Airs weren't selling after a while, and now the Airs are starting to pick up, which is nice. So this is another Boba Fett no circle foot and leg stamps. So,
man, what?
These were big on the market. No, these were a big deal at the time, Carter, bro. I was heavy.
That's big.
Yeah, I was heavy on these, bro, and I would search for these Airs, these specific Airs. There's a Leia, Princess Leia and Boushh Air from the Shadows of the Empire run that's super hard to find. All the Boba Fett's have Airs,
and if you know which freeze frame to get. Like if you get the weak way freeze frame or versus the long versus short saber tray.
Yep.
There's so many variations. It's crazy.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. That it made collecting these fun to find those Airs. So, yeah. All right. This is a Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander. We got a couple of these in today. This one is in good condition. Sold for $700 with the card. Yeah. This is very interesting right here.
Wow.
These are boxes only, you guys.
Wow.
Nothing other than boxes, but in the regular Night Raven, you got the card and the decals in the thing, which is the only... I can't understand why a regular Night Raven box would sell more than a Sky Patrol Night Raven box, because that Sky Patrol Night Raven is so rare. They repainted the Night Raven in silver, a shiny silver for Sky Patrol. You know how they did those reprints all the time, and they never really caught on, so they hardly ever sold. And they're just as tough to find as the Night Force Moray and the Night Force Sky Striker and all that stuff. But these are just boxes. This is crazy. So, two really tough figures to find. These are the figures that came with the Defiant Space Shuttle. I see hardtop more than I see payload. But that hardtop with the mic is...
If you get the mic and the gun, it's really hard to find both. I know we kind of talked about it with heavy metal with the Mauler with that microphone. They're really difficult. I feel like I see payload more, or if you'll see more hardtops, but they'll be incomplete. They're really tough to find, and they're really tough to find complete with file cards that are clean.
Did any of you guys ever? Do any of you have like a crazy digging Holy Grail story of digging in the toy bins under desks at cons and finding something?
Never.
Mm.
No. I should do it more. I would love to know if anybody out there watching right now has any stories of finding Holy Grail figures in bins underneath tables and stuff. Let us know.
I wouldn't know what to look for, and that's why I'm paying attention right now.
Trust me,
Yeah.
mine was still the one I found at Eckerd Drugs back in 6th grade.
Yeah. That's a great story, brother. This one's awesome. One of my favorite all-time comics ever is the Marvel Super Special one that had Kiss blood in the red ink. Like they actually put vials of their blood in. That was fucking crazy cool back in the day, bro. That shit was cool. I don't think you could get away with that now. Like if you can, let's put Flipside members' blood in our first Tales from the Flipside cover.
I do it.
Hell yeah, brother. That's cool as hell. I would do that. Just don't want a Springman version. Or I mean Marvel Super Special #1 Kiss blood signed by all 4 original members. $2,000. Ultra rare. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Get into some really cool stuff. How about original Sex Pistols gig flyer? Look at that, baby. $2,000. That's pretty
How would
cool.
you possibly? It's a straight photocopy, man.
You can make
Like,
that at home.
You can literally make that.
Maybe.
Like, there's no possible way to authenticate that.
If you're nasty, you can get it Kinko'd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
But what about
dude.
this one?
Carbon date the paper.
Original Germs punk rock flyer handbill.
Darby Crash?
$1,580. That's fucking cool as shit, man. I love this stuff. That's a Utah gig, it looks like. I love stuff like that. I will always love stuff like that. I think it's super cool. All right. Let me do...
How is there a size on those? Like full?
I'm sure they're probably like...
They're all different, yeah.
Yeah. They're like regular printer paper and shit, that type of stuff. They probably a lot of them probably didn't know like
Standard size.
Yeah. All right.
Totally.
All right. I got some more here. Get rid of these. Got a couple more.
Yeah, I've got so many. I gotta pull them out.
All right. This one is kind of interesting. Remember we saw those 3-packs the other night? This was Marvel 3 and DC 3-packs. You got all these 3-packs still sealed.
Oh yeah.
See them in the back, and then these Walt Disney comics.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Is that what? How much one of those packs went for when we last saw it?
All of them, the whole lot went for $427.
No, I remember we're looking at them individually.
Oh yeah.
Like that much or more a piece.
I don't know, but that's a cool cover right there.
That's pretty sweet.
That is a cool cover right there.
What number is that? Volume 6, number 10.
That is a cool one right there.
What's that say? July 44?
Yep. That's awesome. So this is what else it came with. I'm, very interesting to see these old school Dell comics. A lot of them are super rare, and people just don't realize how rare they are. Look at that spaceship one. So $427 for that. This is kind of interesting. This is a Foom lot.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! So it had them all. It had 1 through 20. You guys,
man.
Yeah.
Somebody got a really nice deal then.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
I mean, like all the tough ones to find. I have this one right here.
Holy smokes!
I wish.
Yeah, I still need a high grade 10. I pressed one for somebody. It came back 9 point something. and that was like years ago. And I've been on the hunt. And then once you hold something that nice, it's like you don't really want a shitty version.
This one's
Although
cool
since
too.
I have no version, I would take a shitty version.
I really want this one right here.
Yeah.
I
I have that one. What's that? Miss Marvel top
Danvers
left?
up there, right?
Yeah, this is the
Carol
Miss Marvel.
Danvers.
Yeah, first Carol Danvers.
I have one of
And
those.
Miss Marvel.
Captain Britain too.
And Captain Britain, yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all of them right there, you guys.
Wow.
Yeah, it would have been nice. Would you pay $1,500 for that whole set?
I'd like to zoom in on a couple of them, but most likely.
Well,
Yeah.
the 10 by itself will go
Yeah,
for
the 10.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Latasha,
To get that Wolverine prototype.
Latasha says, I just bought a 10 for that much 3 days ago.
Still a good buy, Latasha.
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah,
a 10 in the 9.6, by the way.
Oh,
Let me put
Jesus.
that out there.
Yeah.
Is
I
the
think that's
Stanley? Is that what they based the trading card off?
Yes.
Of? Remember that first series?
Yep, the
Mhm.
special Stan Lee card that everybody was going crazy for. Yep. That's exactly what they based it off of. So that's a really cool one. All right, here is another really cool set that I think was a great deal. For $469, you got all the Rampaging Hulk books. All the early Moon Knight stuff, all the first Sienkiewicz is right there. Yeah. Just,
I always wondered why the one with Iron Man and Thor on the cover didn't go for that much. That's like one of my favorite covers.
this whole run is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah. Cover's hot as hell.
Yeah. These are Sienkiewicz, Moon Knight. This one is a big deal too, I think, if I remember correctly. All these have really cool stuff in them. This one's cool too. Yeah. $469 on that one. How about this one, you guys? Annihilation Conquest page number 5 from Annihilation Conquest number 6. First Guardians of the Galaxy. It's got a... Let's see who is on this. Let's take a look here. So this is what you're getting. I don't see Star-Lord on here unless he's one of these characters right here. Maybe that's him getting hit.
It probably just means it's from the
It's from that book, yeah.
from the book. I don't think he means the actual page.
Well, if Star-Lord's on one of the pages, it would make it worth it, right? To me.
Probably.
And I don't know if maybe that's
But
Star-Lord.
they were a
on
team
that.
in Star-Lord 1, right? And everybody just thinks this is the book because of that cover.
Yeah. Well, $350 for that original piece of art. Pretty amazing. Pretty damn amazing. You guys want to see something really crazy? How about this one? How many of you guys were watching this one?
I was watching that one.
Yeah. What is? Let's see what it looks like. Doesn't look terrible. How much do you think it went for? $4,000 for the whole set.
That's it.
Wow.
That was probably a good buy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, because I mean, all you need like a 8.0 or 8.5 on that thing, and you're good.
yeah.
Is there a picture of the back?
Yeah, let's see. So here's the front. They had it up on their wall.
Oh, that's a
It
corner
looks-
crease, dude.
There's a corner crease right there. Yeah.
You still maybe get that 8 range on it.
Oh, they had it up
But
on
at the
their
same
wall.
time, man, people just want one. Like, you know what I mean?
It's got some color rub.
There's not too many floating around for too many floating around for under 4,000. So
Here's the rest. I mean, it's not
oof.
pretty. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
It's a little chopped up, but you know.
Let's take a look at the back. Ooh. Ooh.
It's getting worse.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No back.
I
No picture of the back.
appreciate him taking this many pictures, though.
Yes.
Yeah. You have to on that. You know what I mean?
Wow. $4,000 for that. How much are these selling for right now? Just these ones? Do we know?
I
They're
want to
hard
say
to find.
I want to say 3. The variant for 3 is around 2. The rest are probably around 1.
Yeah, I think that's right. And then there's an ad or whatever you want to say, a preview for Ultimate Fallout 4 in the back of 3, so it keeps going up.
Latasha says, I was going to get Giant Size X-Men 1, but just wanted Storm's first appearance, so it all worked out. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. All right, so that was all pretty crazy. This right here is something that another one of the ones I wish I would have got. First H-bomb warning giveaway, the H-bomb and you, $341.
That's
pretty
cool.
damn cool.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, this is super, super rare. Tips of surviving the bomb. It's all comic form. Commercial Comics, Inc. The H-bomb and you is an authentic file copy. Wow. From the personal estate of the founder and president of Commercial Comics. And it only went for that much? Oh, my God. Damn it. Again. I hate the fucking market report. I hate the market report, man. What the hell?
Self-manufactured pain.
Yeah. All right. Here's another Cobra Commander, Mickey Mouse. $405. Just the gun and just the Cobra Commander.
How
a little bit.
Looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. Got his thumbs. Got his crotch. Don't see any cracks on the elbows that I can see. There's his butt. His butt looks good.
I'd say the insignia is clean. He's got all the paint.
The only thing that is he's got a little bit of stuff on his visor.
Surprised somebody get more than 2 bids for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And our parents thought these were expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. How about this one? Speaking of starting lineup cards. There's the whole set. I think it's the whole set. Let me just double check. See if Jordan's in there. And Stockton's in there. I'm just not seeing them.
No.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any of the Jazz. So what is it? It says set 75. What the hell? Starting lineup basketball Kenner set 75 cards in NBA rookie. So I wonder if he's got the other cards somewhere else because I don't see the Jordan.
Yeah, and he's saying rookies. I mean, I don't know who he's pointing to because I don't see Reggie Miller or John Stockton, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant.
Dead center, dead mint grading, purchased in late 90s from an ex-Kenner employee. He has been an exclusive Kenner dealer since 94. So last set of 88. He says 75, and he just says 88 here. So I don't know what's going on, but that's pretty crazy. All right. Last thing I want to show you. Lot of G.I. Joe figures. Seems like it was a pretty good deal. I haven't looked in to see what the Cobra Commanders look like, but you get 3 Baroness, 4 Destros, 2 Zartans, 2 Fireflies, 2 Storm Shadows, 1 that's super, super colored wrong, but it looks like all their thumbs are there. 3 hooded Cobra Commanders, 1's missing a crotch. 3 1 looks like it might be. Hold on, let's take a look here. That one over here kind of looks like it, right? Let me see here. That one, no, maybe not. No. So you got and 6 Major Bloods for $465. Pretty crazy. See what these are going for these days. No weapons, no nothing. You get 1 backpack on a Storm Shadow. $465. And that is the market report, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy, man. Absolutely bonkers. But you never know. You never know what you can get. All right. A little bit onto the market report that I want to talk about is something that we we saw yesterday or Saturday on Modern Comic Mayhem, we were talking about the Machiavelli letter that was sold by Golden. Did you guys see that? I don't know what it sold for. What it ended for. But let me see if I can find this here. Shane sent me something really cool. So Shane said, he goes, yeah, I've got a pass used by Kurt Cobain at Live and Loud in Seattle. Used by Kurt Cobain, verified. Yes. What do you think I should do with it? Where should I send it? You know? And that's a good question. I don't know where to have him send it. It's pretty cool. But he said he had a bunch of this old school Nirvana stuff. Let me show you some of the cool things he has. So this is a drum head signed by Kurt, Chris, and Dave, which is very cool. Kurt, Chris, and Dave's. This is old VIP pass. Pretty damn cool. He's got another one for In Utero, which is pretty damn cool. And this is a signed CD, which is really cool. Pretty cool to see all that old school Nirvana memorabilia signed by Kurt and stuff. Very interesting to see what that goes for if he ever decides to sell it. I don't think he would sell it, but it's pretty cool to see people's collections out there. So shout out to Shane. I think that where would you send something like that pass? I don't know where, like Heritage. Would Heritage do something like that?
They had a
Maybe.
theme thing. Maybe.
I don't know. There's got to be some sort of rock memorabilia hub kind of place that specializes in this. I mean, there's too big a market for it not to be.
Yeah.
It's just not. Yeah.
What not?
There you go.
Put it up for 30 grand or more.
Hard.
100 grand. Yeah. Yeah. Joe said that there was a Sports Illustrated Gretzky mag that sold for $30K. Holy shit. That's crazy.
Man. My dad used to collect Sports Illustrated. He and my uncle, they both tried to put complete runs together. And then they just got sick of the space or not having the space and got rid of everything. Like, I don't even want to tell them how much some of that stuff is worth now.
Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy, dude. That's we all had that. You know, I remember I've told this story here before on the channel. When I first got into baseball cards, it was Garbage Pail Kids that got me into cards. So Garbage Pail Kids came out and we couldn't find them anywhere. My dad was driving me around to all the Circle K's and gas stations and 7-Elevens to get them. And we could find a pack here and there, you know. And one guy's like, why don't you just go to a card store? And my dad was like, card store? And I'm like, card store? What is that? You know? So we went to our first card store and I got some packs of cards and stuff. And on the way home, my dad's like, you know, I'm going to stop by, you know, your grandparents' house because I'm going to see if all my cards are still there. Those are probably worth some money. And he's like, I got a whole trunk sitting in the outside storage of all my cards, you know? And we get there and my grandparents are like, yeah, 2 weeks ago, that got thrown away.
Oh.
You know, like what could have been, right? You know, Mickey Mantle's, my dad's favorite player was Mantle. He traded all of his Clementes for Mantles. You know, he said that he had all the Mantles. He didn't put them on his bike or anything. He kept them all nice condition. So,
Yeah,
you know, there's stories like that all around.
Yeah, my father-in-law, his my wife's his mother, her grandmother, kept everything in this basement in Minnesota, like shopping bags and like different boxes for shoes. The only fucking thing she threw away was his baseball cards. That's it.
This one.
The only thing worth anything in that whole freaking basement, they took him weeks to clean out, was chucked, and he was
Oh, he sold the Babe Ruth?
He sold the Babe Ruth. He sold the Ruth strip. So he hit me up the other day and he goes, yeah, I had a guy contact me about the Ruth strip. Said, I'll give you, I think he said $6,000 for it. And he said, yeah, if the little chunk wasn't taking out of right below where the Ruth was, I would cut it and send it in to get graded. But because the chunk is out, it's like, fuck it, I'll take it. He took $6,000 for that strip, which is pretty damn good. And good for him for hitting one of the very few Sizzlers left in the world.
Going Sizzler. Going Sizzler.
So yeah, man, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy what you find. He's hopefully, fingers crossed, the next half of that collection will be showing up on video soon, you guys. And if that happens, it's going to be crazy. But just remember, there are collections out there to be had. I don't know. Are you guys starting to look into locker sales lately? I know a lot of people have kind of been getting back into the locker sale game and making some money off of them. I've heard a lot of people hit me up and talk to me about that, finding collections and stuff. You guys
too much stuff.
Yeah,
to risk having a place to need to store immediately. I mean, you get to look in it. I guess it's your own decision, but it seems like too big of an undertaking.
Yeah. Nate 138 says my grandmother burned my uncle's comics and baseball card collections when he was drafted to Vietnam. Oh. Joe says that
double bad luck.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of the Promise Collection.
Yeah, the opposite of the Promise Collection.
I promise they'll be gone when you get back.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right, you guys got any pickups?
I got something.
All right, let's go.
Okay. This morning I dropped a haul video. I documented or journaled the best day of comic book hunting I've had in 2022.
Ooh.
So go check that out. Got some good shit. Okay, so you guys were talking about Green Lantern 10 second print on Friday. And in a little inside baseball, this was actually nominated for the Spec 10 a long time ago. And it didn't quite make the list, but I put it on the mental Rolodex to try to find. And we got this. I bought this a while ago, but I figured I'd bring it out. Last weekend, I went to a show, and we got ourselves some comics. And we got a very brown round mound copy of Strange Tales number 126. What is this? The first Dormammu and first Clay. And yeah, so we got this. This was a gift. This was a gift from my dealer buddy for helping him out. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that was a gift. And what else did we find at this show? Ooh, now here's a book I didn't think I would find so damn cheap. So Green Lantern number 9, first cover of Sinestro. And I got this for, I want to say $55.
Wow.
Like, this was hella cheap. And this thing is in solid condition too.
It looks pretty.
Yeah. I was like, okay, let's do this. So all over it for that price. But the funny thing is, this book was on the floor. So, you know what I mean? And the show was going on for a while. So, you know, some people, they don't like to dig on the floor. I like being on the floor because I pulled my back the day before shoveling snow. So it felt good to sit my ass down. So I was on the floor for a long ass time. So Green Lantern number 9. Also, we got ourselves a second print Doctor Doom number 1 for $20. Why not? Why not? Doctor Doom number 1. I believe this was going for like 100 at one point. I don't think it's going for that much right now, but still for $20, I think that's a good deal. And also we got Avengers Children's Crusade #1 second print. This one,
Tough book.
the prices on this are all over the place. I've seen copies for like 100. I've seen them for not so much 100. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's a weird book, but I believe I paid $5 for this. From what
When is that going to pop?
How about around the time of Doctor Strange and we see Wanda in like all of her glory or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Fingers crossed.
If they find those kids, then that's going to pop, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. After the show, I stopped at a store and we got ourselves a Spider-Geddon #1
Nice
Punk Spider variant for roughly cover price.
Nice.
So I don't know what this goes for, but I figured I'd pick it up just because it has Spider. Is it Punk Spider or Spider Punk?
Spider Punk,
Spider-Punk.
and that book. That's a nice book.
It's like 20 or more, you know.
All right,
It's nice.
Is it?
It'll
That's
pop.
good.
it's
I've been buying
respectable.
them. Still glad to hear that.
It's a good cover. And I believe, last but not least, we've got Swordmaster 9 for cover price. What was it's some first appearance, like Lynn Lai. Yeah. So the brother of Swordmaster. So that's what I picked up, and we got a hell of a great. We have an amazing haul that I dropped on my channel, so check that out. And I believe
I'll drop a link.
Nice.
All right, who's next?
I'll go
Nate, you
now.
got
We can
anything?
go through.
Yeah.
All right.
So actually, my favorite thing I got was, if anyone ever collected Mask, I found a lot on eBay. They had 36 figures and then 38 helmets. And if you know anything about the Mask, you know, when they came out with Series 1, the first ones had the short mask. But then when they came out with later, they continued with Series 1 in '86, they actually started making them long. So to get all the old guys like Bruce Sato, Brad Turner, Cliff Dagger, Matt Tracker, but the main one was Hondo McLean, because getting the small Hondo helmet, the helmet itself usually goes for about 100 to 150 if you can find it. Just the
Wow.
helmet. So pretty excited about that a lot.
Yeah, I
Wow.
noticed those carded mask figures, just the figures by themselves, those have the longer. I noticed those have longer masks.
Yeah,
than,
the only bad one I got was the Matt Tracker, the Spectrum. It's the long version. It's not the short version. So that one
okay.
I've got to get. But I had all the other ones because I think there are 11 in that first series with the short mask. So, but the only other two characters I like really noticed they didn't have in the lot were Vanessa Warfield, the Whip, the bad female for Venom, and then Gloria Baker, the good female for the guy for Mask. So, this is for Red Hood, just because I was completely jealous being a Mets fan, and when he showed me he had this, so I've been looking for it ever since, and actually found one on eBay the other day, an '84 cello pack with strawberry
Nice.
on the front.
How much
So
you pick that up for?
Well, so I was talking to the guy. I was like, "Hey, would you do a deal on that?" And I started looking through other things he had. He's like, "Well, I've got a few others if you're interested." And he had an '84 Fleer cello with Mattingly on it,
Wow.
and he had an '83 Tops with Boggs on there.
Wow.
Damn, that's cool.
That's
Yeah.
a great pickup, man.
They look, and they actually came today, and they're all in good shape. So I think I'm gonna to figure out something to put those in so they don't get beat up too much. But so Joe, Red Hood, thanks for that, pal. I appreciate showing me your Met stuff. I don't have much books that I picked up. I picked up a few of these. I'm trying to, there's so many first appearances right now in the Star Wars world. So Devil Lompop. So I grabbed a couple of 1 in 25s of her recently. And then with everything that's kind of spiked up when we saw Boba Fett, I was really trying to go after I was like, if somehow or another Mace gets included in any of this kind of stuff, I figured the 1 in 10s, the Razas, and the homage to the shield covers might be the smart way to go.
Is Mace dead?
I don't think so.
Like
I think
official?
they're gonna bring him back.
Yeah, I think they're going to bring him back too.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying. If I can find some books, there's ones of him. Just feel like they're really not much. I mean, you're talking $5, $6, $7 a piece. Even like the 1 in 10s. I mean, you can usually get them for $10, maybe less. And second print miles. You can never have enough miles.
Yeah, not bad.
Not at all.
All right, who's up
Cool.
next?
I got a few. What did I show off last week? Because I thought it was turtles. Do you remember?
I have no idea.
Anyone? I'll show it off again, just in case. I got Tales of TMNT number 696. First Leatherhead. I sold one of those raw on the app that cannot be named. Someone's
Drink.
what else did I get? I got Tales of TMNT number 4, first Rat King,
Ooh,
the 9.6.
nice.
Oh wow.
That's the spec. They're going to do some villain movies next year. And picked up Comics Interview number 27.
Nice.
That's cool.
First Casey Jones. But I won't say that twice. I got some some Whatnot wins from Sean. Web of Black Widow. That was a 1 in 50, right, Sean?
Yeah, I think so.
And then I got this Thanos number 1 variant. It was another 1 in 50, right?
Yeah, that's a nice cover.
Yeah. So won those from Sean. I don't know. Let's see what country this is from. Sorry, folks. I just grabbed this randomly. Foreign. I wish Z was here, but it's just a reprint. I think it's recent, but I saw the original cover and bought it. I can't remember. I don't know what language it's in, Italian or something. And then a couple more slabs. TMNT, the IDW run number 117, and that's the first Venus that's coming out in 127. This is her first little cameo, 181, 180.
Love that book. Love that
situation.
cover.
I was about to say,
Great
because she's
cover.
coming back here, what, in 130 in IDW?
127.
127?
So she was briefly existed in like a live action, but never in comics. And then this one, last pickup, X-Men number 20. Someone reminded me about this cover, and so I picked it up in a 9.8.
I like that one.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Can you
That's
show
it.
that a little bit closer? I can't tell what it is.
Yeah. It's Mystique on the printer.
Oh, yes.
Making all the
Okay.
copies.
Oh, very
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Raza? Who is that?
On the printer or on the copier?
No, the artist.
The artist.
Oh, no. For the cover, Del Mundo.
Okay.
So that's it.
Nice.
Not bad. All right, Sean, you're up, brother.
All right, so mother-in-law got the mail, and I thought, what the hell can this be? I think you guys might know I'm not a Denver fan. So I'm sitting with this, and I'm laughing, and so she got I don't know, she must have picked it up this weekend, but I said it today, and so I saw the address was slightly familiar. Obviously from Whatnot, so it's was a present from Solo Wookie, who had wrapped it up nicely in a Jake Plummer jersey. So there's that. Little did you know, because I went to ASU, I actually love Jake Plummer. So there's that. But because he had to wrap it in some Bronco stuff, he got me a Sweet Tuscan Raiders t-shirt.
That's sweet.
So-
Very cool.
So thanks, Chad.
that's
I
awesome.
think he's still right there. I think so. Yeah. Very, 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 very cool of you. I didn't get much else. I did. Happened from the Hive guys. just on their whatnot. Like all 3 covers to TMNT 97. So I won that little set from them, and then I won also. If you guys see what's on the whatnot, they've been reprinting, but this is the original, the salve from the Javon Jordan stuff.
Oh, wow.
And so salve number 1, this is number 1. I believe there's also number 2, which I think was on eBay, and salve Cystine the Sick versus Cystine the Sick, and like. Yeah, so I thought these would be pretty cool, and I think they're pretty rare because I can't find them. I cannot find these anywhere.
Yeah, where'd you pick them up? How'd you pick them up?
Hive auctioned them on Whatnot.
Wow, nice.
Yes, I got it from. I think Jonathan was running that night, and so so I got those, and I was like, okay, I just can't find them at all. And other thing that's cool, I didn't realize that they did this. So they did a rock and roll biography comics for Tool, and Lindsey Kuhn did the cover. So it's Dinosaur Sex, and it's a Tool, and Lindsey Kuhn's one of the greatest, most renowned like concert poster artists of all time. And I just, when was this? 2021. But I must have. It's Nerd Store and Swamp Company exclusive. Okay,
If you
so
look
yes.
up, if you look up,
He
like
literally signed it though. So I've got this Kuhn SS book, and it's awesome. I'm gonna have to find another one because my friend doesn't watch the show, but he likes comics a little bit, but he's gonna like this is more a gift for him. And that even though I really kind of want it myself, but I have some Kuhn signed posters that I need to get framed. So there's that stuff. Really cool. So this is so anyway, this is I don't know where it's gonna find another one of these, man, and then they auctioned a 9.8 right after it, and I was like, son of a bitch. Well, it's okay. Well, you know what? This went for half that price, and since it's a gift for like a not that big of a comic fan, I can deal with it because he doesn't know the difference. He's not quite
a 9.6.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought this was pretty damn cool to have a Lindsey Kuhn signed SS book, because it's like, you know how we are with our crossovers. We all like crossover shit for whatever it is. So so Dinosaur Sex gift is what I got. And that's it. More stuff in the mail. I don't think I opened anything else. So
you know that if you look up Tool or just music memorabilia, Tool is one of the most, like, it's all you'll see is Tool posters, Tool memorabilia. It's everywhere. So
I'm a Perfect Circle guy myself, but
so am I. I like Perfect Circle more than I like Tool, even though I like Tool immensely.
Sean, you should get one of those from Mel too, because he loves dinosaurs so much. You know?
He does, especially, and if they explain the mystery of how there are more dinosaurs, you can see it right there on the cover.
How to. All right, so I got a lot of stuff in that I'd ordered like long ago and kind of had forgotten about. This was a Bird City set. You see these? The Day of the Dead.
Yep.
The Department of Truth and the Ice Cream Man. These are beautiful. I love those.
Those are nice.
600 print run, I guess.
Wow.
I don't know. I didn't even know if I knew they were Bird City when I ordered them, but ads pop up on my phone and I just press buttons. You know what I mean? I don't know if this was Frankie's or not, but this was that Rose Besh did that set of covers. Cherry Pop-Tart #1. I don't know if this was Frankie's or not, but again, I'm a big fan of Rose Besh. I think I even like her more than a lot of the Momoko stuff.
It's Golden Apple, by the way.
Golden Apple, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if their name's on it or not. I know where a place is. I know where a secret stash is to buy those, and I've been thinking about it. So, FYI.
So there's this titled Unicorn from Scout. This looks like the regular cover A. My daughter loves unicorns, so together we've been chasing like every unicorn variant we can. This was actually from, I don't know if it was on Kickstarter or another crowdfunding place, but this was the glow in the dark from the crowdfunded version, and then they did a rainbow one that was signed by the creator, Don Hanfeld. Dino's actually trying to help me trying to help me hunt down the rest of the unicorn variants.
Tony, I saw your note in the chat, and there's a store by me that's a big scout store, and I asked if they had any unicorn variants, but they didn't have any.
Yeah, I have all the regular the ones that hit comic shops, but it's the Kickstarter stuff that I'm trying to hunt down now, so it might not be so easy. And Scout is super active. Drink if you want, but they're on Whatnot. They do sales every couple days. And just a tip, if there are any, I don't know if other publishers do. I mean, you get some creators, but that's actually a really good place to just ask questions. I asked about Unicorn on one of their shows, and they're like, "Oh, don't tell anybody, but yeah, it's filming supposed to start next month." So I'm like, "Sweet, little cornbread." It's not a news release, so they don't feel bad about releasing a little information.
Nice.
So this is kind of cool. I've been on a Gabby and Laura kick for a while. I've been posting a lot of stuff on Instagram. And one of my followers posted this and tagged me, and he's like, "Oh, I found this French edition. This is the French version of the 1 in 25 of the all new Wolverine #2, first Honey Badger." And I had never seen it before, so I immediately hunted one down myself, which it came like folded in half. So I don't know how that's gonna smooth out, but. What else? Oh, got the another Rose Besh.
I was just looking at that cover the other day. That's just amazing.
This is the
I
metal.
can't imagine what it looks like in person too.
And actually, just without the plastic, even it's just beautiful.
Yeah,
I don't know. The colors you don't do it justice here, but
it looks like one of those metal signs, the metal posters you see at cons.
Right. And I know metal editions are kind of a thing now. Everybody's doing metal, but whatever. For whatever reason, on that book, it looks gorgeous. Still trying to hunt down on the Laura kick. This was kind of a harder to find variant cover of X-23 as Captain Universe. Really nice cover.
I've never seen that one before.
What number
I've
is
seen
that?
the one where she turns into into Captain Universe, and that was a one shot, right?
There was a one, and it was actually four issues, but each issue was with Captain Universe and a different character. She was, I think, number 3. But this is issue 16 of the second volume, I want to say, the cover B. So
yeah, they did Wolverine, Captain America, Hulk, and X-23, right?
I think you're right, yeah. So I posted on this too, and I finally hunted one down. This is that the Spanish edition of Dungeons and Dragons, Dragones y Mazmorras, 1984. I don't know if you would call it a cult favorite, but that comic, the cartoon that from the early 80s. Mm-hmm. It was pretty popular here, but I guess it was really popular in Spain because they actually branched it out into its own comic series. They didn't do this comic series in the US. So officially, this is the first comic book appearance of Dungeons and Dragons because it didn't show up in US comics until 89. Wow. So again, our good friends Josh at International Comics and Robert have been kind of showing me where to look. It's not easy to shop on those, on a lot of those foreign sites. So I don't know. It gets to be really complicated. Of course, that one made the list last week. I picked these up right before it snapped. I think I only paid like $20 a piece for these, but
yeah, let's talk about that a little bit because that book is kind of crazy, right? I mean, Ben really talked about that. He thinks there's something weird going on with it, and
I think those 2 sales that he was pointing at, I wouldn't be surprised if something happened there, but it really has settled into between 80 and 110. There's many sales. So I think regardless of, a couple outlier sales, and who knows how many of these there are. I heard these were distributed at cons, but they also became
A one
a one
per
per store.
Yep.
So there might be 5,000 of them out there. That's
And he
not
sent them out to people who were part of some type of fan list.
right.
Yeah.
I just am very high on Scotty Young right now. I think
Hell yeah, man.
Not just his art, but the writing, the Strange Academy, the Middle West. It seems like he's getting more and more clout, and this is the kind of thing, that gets optioned really quickly. James from Hive was saying there's going to be a ton of retailer variants for this. There's already, sites selling investor packages. You get the 1 in 100 and the 1 in whatever. So who knows? It's probably going to be ordered to death, but it's kind of in the Kanto realm to me. Looks like a modern Fable kind of thing. It looks
I think
cool.
Drew Zucker is going to be doing Hive's version of that,
I think
or
you're
the
right.
rumor is.
One of my friends who is Good Girls Bad Robots. He just had his first Whatnot
look
sale.
at that.
And I won a giveaway on his sale. So I've never owned this book before, so I'm really happy to grab that.
That's a tough book in high grade too.
Give him a follow on Instagram and whatnot too. He's got some great books. His name is Eric. We've been in the Simple Man's Patreon from way back when, so he's a great guy. This little puppy, I've been trying to find a raw copy to grade. I cannot find anything better than a 9.0. These Timely comics, they're just so thick. They're so thick. Have you guys ever found a good copy of this anywhere?
I tell you what, I found a copy of that, and I forgot that the cover was basically like the same material as the interior pages, and I just kind of I damn near ripped the cover off. So those things are a bitch. So finding one in the 9.8.
They sat on shelves.
Yeah,
they sat on shelves. They're like every copy I find is like dirty, and it's cleanable, but at the same time, like that paper's absolute shit. So you can't, you know what I mean? It can't take too much abrasion.
Yep.
No, it can't.
And the Timely Comics reprints, they're usually have more than one issue. Like this one is issues 1 through 3. There was a Carnage Timely Comics. I mean, it's supposed to be like harkening back to the old Timely Comics. There's a handful of them. I want to say there's a Totally Awesome Hulk Timely Comics.
Totally Awesome Hulk and Ultimates from 2015. Those are the two that I know of.
Yeah, I ran across the Carnage once at a half price books, but they're all hard to get in decent condition. So just again, that's one of those books. If you can find it in the grade that you wanted it, just get it that way.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I haven't even opened this up yet, but I pre-ordered this from Things from Another World. It's a Milo Manara, uncensored, The Golden Ass. I don't know. I think it's just an art book of Milo, but he's cool, man. He's got so many cool covers. So I don't know. Not a spec play, just more of a interesting coffee book that'll keep away from the kids. And that's it for me.
Not bad. Great pickups, guys. All right. Let's see here. Some of the things I want to talk about before we go. We were talking about Illis, Javin Jordan, and his Savs thing. He's got a new Kickstarter going on right here. So the Hail Crow King of Hell comic book. So it's moving. So make sure to check that out if you're into Illus stuff. It's pretty interesting character design and look. So yeah, I'd like to hear more about it. We'll have to get him on the show and to talk more about this character and stuff. That Sav stuff that he did was his first Kickstarter. So this is his second Kickstarter. He's got all kinds of fun stuff going on with it. So go check that out.
And
Hell Crow, King of Hell, one
the
shot.
book selling all over Whatnot is a reprint of the Sav that I have here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's a homage to Something is Killing the Children,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Which is this book right here. This is the one that's selling all over Whatnot.
How much did their one of one sell for?
Couldn't tell you. I think they were selling it only on Comic Tom's stuff, right?
I'll say like 1,500 or something.
Yeah. So.
Dude, I can't.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Oh boy. Yeah.
I got mine from Skeleton Key. I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
I know they were taking a portion of all of those sales and giving them to charity. So props for that. But it's like it's 20%, so they still produce quite a bit of income there as well.
Yeah, I think that's.
I saw those numbers too. I don't know if I was supposed to, but
hey, I got to be honest. Can we talk about that for a second? That's not cool to me.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna do it for charity, give all the proceeds to charity. Don't take 50%. Don't take 20%. Give all the proceeds to charity, like Big Leg did, like Clutch did this last week for Trevor Project. They did sales where they gave all the proceeds to charity, not 20%. If you're making money off of a charity, that doesn't feel right to me.
I mean, I can see, cover your costs or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like that could be, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't really have an opinion. I did write a check for $13,000 myself, but but I mean, at the same time, those books were donated they weren't for me to make money on. Not all of them, though.
Yeah, but could you imagine if you said only 20% of that is going to charity and you made money off that?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I sprung for the mailers and.
And I could be off, a little bit out of pocket here talking like this because maybe they talked about it or stuff, but I don't know. It always seemed weird to me. Back in the day, this one Twitch streamer ran a charity and she gave 50% to charity. And I was like, why are you fucking doing that? It seems like you're making money off of saying you're giving it to charity, to me.
To me, the only thing is we know what it costs, basically what it costs to produce books, and we can see what they're selling for.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
You know what I mean? No, but I mean, what's it cost to print a book and the copies are selling for a few hundred a pop?
Well, here's the other thing.
You know what I mean?
Buy them all from Javin Jordan and then give them to charity.
Yeah.
Still give Javin, pay for his books, but then, buy him and then give him to charity. I don't know. I'm not necessarily saying with that. I'm just saying it just seems weird for anybody out there that plans on doing a charity sale. It seems weird when you say I'm giving a percentage to charity. If you're going to do that, say this is the percentage I'm giving to charity because it cost me this much to ship the books or it cost me this much for this and I'm taking exactly that much. So the percentage is this.
I thought that's what proceeds means. You break even and then everything that's actual profit goes to the charity. I see I know what you mean with the 20%, but that's kind of how you cover it rather than going into all the details. Just say, hey, any proceeds I would make is 100% is going to charity.
It's like $4,000 to print those books. So that's where you start, in my opinion.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to do extra work. I just write a check if I had to do it that way. But unless you're something you're trying to bring awareness to, I mean,
I think
I
you're
don't
right,
know.
Brian. But I mean, I kind of have the same complaint about regular businesses do that all the time. You know,
I know they do,
like
and it
we'll
still
give you
sucks.
buy something, subscribe to us this weekend, and we'll give 15% to charity. It's like $1 billion company. You can't just give that charity whatever $20 million and then say, hey, we gave this charity $20 million. You know, we're not requiring you to give us your credit card information first.
Yeah. It seems weird. But again, hey, I'm the first one that'll say my mind can be changed. My mind can always be changed on 99% of things. Like there is nuance and a gray area in almost everything in life. And so, change my mind. Like if you're giving 20% or 30% to charity, tell me why and make it sound good to me. And, if it is good, make it sound good to me. But you know what I mean? Like it's just something, off the top of my head.
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't look this particular. I didn't look that deep into it, so I'm not really trying to give my full-fledged anything. I just happen to know, that it was 20%, and so yeah, I guess 20% is better than nothing, I guess, and it's time and advertising and stuff like that. So it is what it is. I don't know any more about it, so I don't want to say any more about it.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, it's been 2 hours and 20 minutes. We got 153 live till the end. You guys, the best way you can support us is by following us individually, whether it's on IG, our separate YouTube channels, our whatnot stuff, and also by subscribing to this channel. Hit that thumbs up button. Thank you for everybody that dropped super chats. The super chats have been flowing lately. I mean, it was funny because on Saturday night, Kyle got all butthurt and said, "Don't nobody give any super chats to this channel." And they just kept flying in, man. So it was nice. So, yeah, thank you, Jesse. He says, great freaking show as usual. Appreciate you. I want to give a shout out to all the retailers that we love and we do work with. Wanted Comics. Make sure you guys go to check out wantedcomics.com. Also, Wanted Comics on eBay and also on whatnot. Also, shout out to Hive Comics. They have their new Radiant Red up for sale this week, and another book came out, I believe. So hivecomics.com on the web and IG and whatnot. Shout out to Jesse James Comics and the Binge Bar and Comic Book Shopping Network. Make sure you guys go check out the Binge Bar on Facebook Marketplace and Facebook, and Jesse James Comics on eBay. Shout out to Wonderworld Comics and Dennis and everything he's doing. Bird City Comics also here in the Valley. Shout out Bird City Comics, putting out amazing Carla Cohen books right now. I'm so proud to see that they're finally working with Carla Cohen and just putting out amazing stuff. Shout out to AOA who says, Kyle isn't my boss. Amen, brother. Thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, and all the other retailers. I see Haven for Heroes was in there, and Huntington Beach Cards, who will give you a free hobby pack if you mention Flipside and spend some money in their shop. Shout out to them. Also, Gemini Comics. Use the code word Flipside99 to get 10% off of your Gemini Comics, which is very cool. And anybody else I didn't mention, it's not because I didn't want to mention, it's because I forgot. And RSO is cooking right now. So that being said, you guys got anything coming up this week? Interesting? Anybody?
No.
I don't think so.
TGIF, that's it.
Yep. TGIF Friday, you guys, starting at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern. Starts with JJ's Comics and Art. Goes for an hour. Then Wanted Comics goes for an hour after that. Then Big Clutch at Comics Vault Live goes for an hour after that. And then Big Leg goes for an hour after that. And then I go after that. And then Hive goes after that. And then we do the Hot 10 show. So appreciate everybody that hangs out with us for that block. And much love to everybody that is part of this community. And let's continue making it better and growing it. And that being said, we'll see you later. Adios.